you wonderful souls. So I've dropped a ball this week, apart from the fact, what is happening here? What is going on? I didn't record my video until like now, which is the day that it's being sent out, which is not normally what I do, to kind of prepare myself and do it ahead. But I didn't, because this week has been busy and packed. It's had all kinds of stuff chucked into it. Last Sunday was my husband's 40th birthday. He got 32 years on this planet, which I'm glad that he had the 32 years. It's very sunny in here. I didn't get to 40, and 40 feels like a big, memorable time that we as humans like to mark off. He was a person who lived his life feeling like he had done all of the things that he wanted to do. He had his second brain surgery. So my husband died of brain cancer, for those that know that. And when he had his second brain surgery, he said to me, I've done everything that I wanted to do. I've lived my life how I wanted to live my life, which is ultimately all of the work that I do. That's the reason, that's what I want for all of us. I want us to get to whatever age we get to, hopefully old and grey in our beds when it's time. And when we do, we get there and we go, I did everything that I wanted to do. Now, there is one thing that he didn't get to do that he did want to do, and that was a skydive. Watch the video, Flo Rida's video for the music video Wild Ones.
You are a wild one. If I took you home and be a woman, show me how you do. I wanna shut down the club with you. Hey, I heard you like the wild ones.
So my husband used to joke about and say he was Flo Rida and that he wanted to do a skydive. For his 40th birthday, his brother decided that he was gonna jump out of a plane. So we all decided as a family we were going to go and support him. So last Sunday we all went to an airfield. I was really lucky that when I first got there, my mother-in-law had organised for me and my daughter Texas and her partner to go in a helicopter ride. I've never been in a helicopter before, and to get to the place where my brother-in-law was doing the skydive. The pilot was a friend of my mother-in-law's and he was a really nice guy. He said as we got in, look, the skydiving place doesn't do drop-ins, but because it's such a special day, if anybody wants to do a skydive today, they can. And I have always been a hard no. I've talked lots on here about how I'm scared of heights. I have now climbed down the Coventry Cathedral. I've done hang gliding in Turkey, still scared of heights. I keep trying, guys. I keep trying to push past it, but it's still there. And so it was a hard no, like absolutely not. It's making me itch thinking about it, no. But I also have the side of me that is impulsive, and I did have a slight worry that if I was asked on the day that I would say yes, and that is precisely what happened. I said yes, and every point before getting on that plane and jumping out of the plane, I was terrified. And I had to do all of the things that I tell you guys to do and those in the Happy Me Project to do. Every single tool had to be pulled out. Take it one step at a time, bit by bit by bit. Then I had to focus on my breath. I didn't get into anxiety, focus on breathing and calm breathing. And then I looked at reminding myself that the feeling of anxiety is very similar how it is in the body as excitement. So I kept saying to myself, you're just excited. You're excited for the feeling. I visualized in my mind the moment that I would be able to, when I hit solid ground, I could say, I just did a skydive, and get to tell you guys maybe that feeling of like, you did a thing that you were really scared of and you did it anyway. So I'm visualizing that one step at a time. Every time I started to visualize the panic and the feeling of getting out of the plane, I tried to let go of control. And that was a huge part of it. When you are, and some of you will have done a skydive or seen someone do it, we get to 10,000 feet up, tightens the belt to me. And there was this moment of realizing that I have to let go and I have to just go with what's happening. Like I have to accept and experience. That's scary in life, most certainly in a skydive, but in life it's scary, isn't it? So when I'm in the air, so we make the jump, and I was scared. I was really scared. I don't want anyone to see things on social media and think, oh, well, it's easier for her because she does stuff like that, or imagine that it was easy, because it wasn't. It the thing that I've really challenged myself to is to really aim to push myself out of my comfort zone. I was not comfortable, but I know that's where the growth happens. Now, I did think that I would get to the bottom and I would be like, yeah, let's do it again. You know, people say that, don't they? They're like, once you do it once, you're going to want it. No, I do not want to do it again. I enjoyed it, but more importantly than anything, not so much the scary bit of the jump, the initial free fall. I'm so travel sick that I was just nauseous. Guys saying to me, pull the parachute and you can spin yourself and all that. I had to give it back to him. I'm like, Steve, babe, I'm about to vomit and that's going to be embarrassing. Imagine that, landing in, you're just covered in vomit. How embarrassing. When I did diving under the sea, underwater diving, I got out of the dive and vomited on the side. So there is a chance that could happen. That's not without the realm. That's not, you know, that could happen. I didn't, thankfully. So I didn't have this and I didn't get to the end and go, that's going to be life changing in that I'm going to do that a million times again. But it did feel like a tick in the box that I had pushed myself out of my comfort zone. That is, I'm sharing that one because it's news and what's going on in the world for me right now. But mostly because although that's an extreme version of it, every time we push ourselves out of our comfort zone, we gain and we grow. And also I'm sharing it because I live and breathe what I talk about in the Happy Me Project membership and in my talks and in my books. That stuff I share in there, that regular practice of that is there because it works. It is backed by research and years of studies on psychology and how our minds work and in practice, right? And I see in the membership, I have seen for the last 4 years, people thrive. And the thriving comes from really doing the steps, from checking in with yourself daily, making sure you are good, you know, checking in with are you hydrated? Have you been outside? Are you moving your body a little bit? You know, have you had enough sleep? When we're taking care of ourselves, we see an impact. When my camera's going like skew if now, when we practice reframing our fears, we reframing our situations, we watch the words that we say, when we take things bit by bit, especially when we're in a difficult time, when we breathe, when we try to shift our perspective of something, it's not all bad. There could be some good around the corner with it. When we visualize our success, these things are real stuff that I do, that people in the membership do, and then they change their lives for the better. Because when you realize you can do one scary thing, you realize actually I might just be able to do other scary things. But you need support with that. And whether that's my spaces or elsewhere, that support is needed because as human beings, we will very easily not do the things that support ourselves. I know you're smart, right? I know that you know stuff. I know that the stuff I just said was not brand new news to you. You're like, yeah, I get that. But that doesn't mean that we implement it, does it? It just doesn't. And that's where spaces like the Happy Me Project come in, or specifically the Happy Me Project, because that's my space and I feel very proud of it and it's brilliant and the people in there are brilliant. But that's why they matter. So we can keep on track with it and be reminded of the stuff we probably already know. And then now and then we'll gain some new knowledge and be like, oh, I'll try that. That's something different. But we need that check-in and that support. So that's what's been going on this week. And it was surprising. I'm still surprised I did it, which is a good thing. That means that I most definitely pushed myself out of my comfort zone. This is a positive thing. And the rest of the week has been lovely. I've been tired all week because just life and kids and spinning all of the plates. But it's felt good this week. And I'm sure there was something else I was going to tell you, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to say, listen, be brave with your life today and this next week. And if you're feeling like, you know what, I've been listening to Holly blather on for a long time now. And yeah, sure, I get value from videos or posts on social media, but actually I am ready, because I am ready to go into the Happy Me Project, or I'm ready to work with Holly one-on-one. And today's the day. Today is your sign. This is your moment to do that, because it won't change if we don't change. Nothing changes if nothing changes, right? So maybe just maybe today is your day. Let me know if you've ever jumped out of a plane. Let me know if it would be horrifying, if it would be exciting, if it would be an absolute breeze. You are amazing to me if you think that. And I will speak to you all next week. You wonderful, gorgeous human beings. Peace.